Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of College Town Talk. I'm Shan Stout.
And I'm Jonathan Frank.
Okay, Jonathan, I've got 3 words for you to describe today's guest: parks and recreation.
Shan, is Amy Poehler coming on our show today?
No, even better. Today we are talking with Cookeville Leisure Services Director Chad McDonald. I love Chad. Chad has served the city of Cookeville for more than 30 years and various roles, and they all start with cultural arts but one: cultural arts technician, cultural arts coordinator, cultural arts superintendent, and most recently, assistant director of leisure services. And as director of leisure services, Chad and his team oversee 10 scenic parks, as well as some of Cookeville's most beloved community landmarks. And that would include like Cookeville Performing Arts Center, Cane Creek Recreation Center, the Cookeville Depot Museum, and Cookeville History Museum. So the list goes on and on. So outside of his day job, Chad also serves our community as a past president of Tennessee Theater Association and part of the Cookeville Arts Council and Cookeville Rotary. He is also the 2022 Lifetime Achievement Award winner from Cookeville Cityscape. So if you haven't noticed, Chad's a big deal. Chad's wife, Sarah, is a retired Putnam County teacher and a member of our Bryan Symphony Orchestra Board of Directors, which we love. Chad, welcome to College Town Talk.
It is such a delight to be here. I don't know that I'm a big deal. My wife's a big deal for sure. But but thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
We are thrilled that you are here. And, you know, you giving props to your lovely wife. We interviewed Dr. Bob Bell, and he did the same for Gloria. And I think that a good woman behind a good man is just a double benefit there.
That's absolutely true. I mean, she's very supportive of everything I do.
Well, I think it's a lovely sentiment. Now, before we go any further in this interview, we've got to say congratulations or condolences, not sure, because your appointment as Leisure Services Director just took effect this fall. So this news is hot off the presses. And let me tell you, the comment section on Facebook can be a scary place sometimes, but in this case, the reactions were uniformly positive. Everyone has been celebrating your well-deserved promotion. We all saw it coming. What does it mean to you to step into this new role for a city that you've served for more than 30 years? And for those who may be unfamiliar, what would you want them to know about the Leisure Services Department?
Well, going back to my announcement on Facebook, you're right. That can be scary. And I'm just glad that I have the support of a lot of people. There are a lot of friends and colleagues across the city that I rely on, and they've been very supportive, and I appreciate that. But as you're going back to your question, you know, stepping into this role for leisure services is an honor, first and foremost. I mean, it's a culmination of 30-plus years worked for the city. It feels like a new job. It doesn't feel like a new job. It just feels more like a different job with more responsibilities and helping
Other duties as assigned.
Other duties as assigned, that's right. But I'm excited to lead the department into its next chapter. I was fortunate enough to have a great mentor in Rick Woods, the previous director, and I'm fortunate to have a great staff working for us in all roles throughout the
And they
department.
are amazing.
And
I work with them on a regular basis.
Right. They make my job much, much easier. As for leisure services, I want people to know that leisure services is not just about parks and ball fields. It encompasses everything from community health to quality of life. We handle everything from senior programming to youth sports, cultural arts, the beautiful parks and facilities you talked about, like Cane Creek Park. We create places where families can make memories and where people find wellness and where the community can connect. I think essentially we strive to make Cookeville a great place to live, work, and play. And that's our motto for the department.
Well, you're doing a great job with that.
Well, thank you.
That is something that Leisure Services does so well. And I say this a lot on the show, but Cookeville really punches above its weight in terms of the amenities it has, the live events, the opportunities to go to an event like Shakespeare in the Park or all of our live performances, the live music they have at the Depot. I mean, there's so many great events that your department oversees and is responsible for. And I want to stay on this subject of leisure services because there's some exciting things happening within the department right now. Yeah. Your team is working on a new splash pad. You just opened the city's new pickleball courts. and you're working toward an expansion of Cane Creek Park, which is really exciting for, I mean, for us at the university. That is something that we talk about often for, for prospective students to know all that is available to them at Cane Creek Park, and to know now that it'll be expanding and it'll be even bigger and better. What can you tell us about some of the projects that your department has on the books right now?
So you're talking about Cane Creek Park being important for the students of Tennessee Tech. You're right. We're trying to make it a destination so that once you get to Cane Creek Park, there's lots of things for you to do while you're there. You don't need to go get in your car and go other places. You can park one time and take advantage of a lot of amenities. Like you mentioned, the new splash pad, that's going to be a fantastic new addition, especially for our young families. That's going to open around April 1st. They'll be through with it around Christmas, but of course we can't open it in the winter. So look for that around the 1st of April. And it's all about, creating accessible, fun, and safe outdoor events for families and children to enjoy on hot summer days. You know how hot it gets around here in the summer. So we think that's strategically located right next to the Sportsplex, where we have plenty of parking, and it's also going to be next to a brand new playground in the same area. So that's very exciting. The splash pad, I hear, is going to be the largest in the state.
Wow.
So that's, at least when we designed
You heard it here
it was
first.
the largest in the state. That's right. You mentioned pickleball courts. Pickleball courts are a huge success, I think. That sport is exploding, as everyone knows, and we're thrilled to sort of meet that demand with a state-of-the-art facility out there. We have 8 brand new courts, in addition to the indoor courts at the gymnasium right next door. And we have lots of groups that have already formed, and they're using those courts daily.
Wearing them out, aren't
We
they,
are
Chad?
open from 7 a.m. till 10 p.m., and there are people out there playing pickleball at almost every hour. So we've already got some events planned for 2026. I'm interested to see what the demand for the pickleball courts are in the spring and summer next year when it's warm weather. But we're also going to be doing some events. Seth Bruton, our athletics superintendent, is already looking into getting some Senior Olympics events and some other types of tournaments out there for pickleball players. So look for that coming up in the near future. As for Cane Creek Park itself, I mean, it's a great park. Before our expansion, which we're doing right now, it was 262 acres originally. That's with a 56-acre lake in the middle of it. But we purchased property from the Cowan family of 47 acres, and we're developing 31 acres of that right now, where we're adding almost a mile of asphalt paved trail. We'll have a new picnic pavilion and another large parking lot in that area. So lots of space to expand into that natural area for people who come to enjoy Cane Creek Park.
It really is a great part of the community, and our students are going to be excited about that. I'll tell you, if I had $1 for every time I heard a tech student talk about pickleball, Shane, I'd be a rich man.
Well, we're looking
Same
for
from me.
We would love to have more of them come out and play. Yes, absolutely.
Chad, I just want to say, first off, thanks to you and your staff for what you do with leisure services. Tourism overlaps with leisure services a lot,
Absolutely.
and that's especially in the sports tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the community, we've really tried to kind of preach the messaging to understand that as you guys are making even our fields and our parks pristine, which is what we hear, because the competing cities oftentimes do not have as nice of fields that we have, and as nice of parks and all the places for people to spend their leisure time while they're visiting here for a tournament. And I appreciate it, but also it includes that quality of life piece.
It does.
When you are making your sports fields where the local kids are also having their tournaments and playing, and your parks, you're making those beautiful for your visitors, but also the people who live here. That doesn't happen in every city. And I hear this across the state when I talk to my cohorts across the different 95 counties, and they're like, oh my gosh, your Cane Creek Park is such an asset to your community. We wish we had something like that. And to think that ours is just getting bigger and better on a regular basis. Now, I want to backpedal back to the beginning.
Okay.
You started out as a part-time employee at the Cookeville Performing Arts Center, which we call CPAC, while you were still a Tennessee Tech student, and you never looked back because you just stuck your roots in the ground and said, I'm staying. You also served with the Tennessee Theater Association, the Southeastern Theater Conference, and as cultural arts superintendent, you didn't just oversee the live theater programming from a distance. As a manager, you got involved in every detail, from building sets to even directing performances, and I've seen that firsthand across time. Do you have a favorite show that you worked on over the years, or one that stands out?
Oh my goodness. Asking me to pick a favorite show is like asking someone to pick their favorite child. I don't know if there's a way to do that. I counted up a couple of weeks ago. I think I produced over 100 shows as cultural arts superintendent. And I worked on 50 more as technician or coordinator before that. So
that's a lot.
That's 150 shows. I got to work with a lot of people. I like to collaborate with a lot of people. And I think the most interesting thing about theater is collaborating to create something new every time. And so for the safety of all involved,
that's true.
I'm going to pass on answering what my favorite was. I have favorite moments backstage that I can't mention. I have favorite performances on stage of local talent that all of you have seen. So I just enjoyed the process of making art. And I'm not a performer, but I enjoyed being backstage. I enjoyed supporting the artists who were on stage and producing the shows. So.
And you seem to have this encyclopedic memory of all of these shows from your time there, because I don't know if you remember, but I think it was the first time I met you and your wife Sarah at the board picnic for the Bryan Symphony Orchestra, and I mentioned one that I had seen back when I was a tech student, and you were like, "Oh, this was the year. This was who's in it." So you I don't know how you keep them all straight because you've done so many of them. But
well, you didn't know. I could have been lying to you.
So that's the secret.
I was just sure. I don't know that I was right.
If you don't know, just sound solid.
That's right.
Well, Chad, given all the ways you've contributed to this community over the years, people would be forgiven for thinking that you were born and raised here. But in fact, you're a Roane County native who came to Cookeville to attend Tennessee Tech. Which is not unlike my story, because my family's not from here. I grew up in Goodlettsville and came to Tech, and Cookeville has a way of kind of pulling you in once you get here for school, I think, for a lot of people. But what do you remember from those early days in Cookeville, and how have you seen this community grow and evolve over the years?
Oh, for early days in Cookeville. Let's see, there was no Restaurant Row when I came to Cookeville in 1992, late 91, early 92. The Cookeville Mall was the place to go.
True.
That's where you did all your shopping. There was the China Garden that I loved to go to, the Soup Kitchen downtown, the Scarecrow Inn.
I forgot about the
Wow, can you tell I was focused on food back then? Most of those things deal with restaurants, but the change has been tremendous since I've been here. Cookeville has grown, it's diversified, and the economic landscape has changed all around. We've seen incredible development in retail, dining, and housing, and the recreational industry. What I love is that despite all this growth in Cookeville, I think, this is my personal opinion, but I think Cookeville's managed to hold on to its small town feel or soul, and the strong sense of community that's here. I know there are people who think we're growing too fast, but I still think we're focused on family and support local businesses and the arts here in Cookeville. So that core has stayed true since I've been here. I think we've successfully evolved as a community without losing that identity.
Well, and I love that you bring that up, because I think if you've lived here your whole life, you kind of take that feeling for granted of that small town charm.
Yes.
But we are a mid-sized city. We are a college town. And so oftentimes that hometown feeling gets sterilized almost, and it goes away. And the fact that we have that is magical. And there's a lot of small businesses and a lot of restaurant owners that work very hard to keep that alive and to make themselves relevant and special in different ways, and not just be a cookie cutter, regular experience for everybody. Everywhere you go, there is something special about each small business. So I absolutely love that. And speaking of something I love when I get to do rapid fire questions. And today is my day. So it is time. Tell us the first thing that comes to your mind. Number one, your favorite Cookeville tradition or annual event?
Well, with the Christmas season coming up, I love the Cookeville Christmas tree lighting in Dogwood Park. I know there's also a big event on the square as well. So I love all the Christmas traditions.
But of course, you're going to choose Dogwood Park.
Well,
absolutely.
I've been
fire,
more
you gotta
involved in that.
commit.
But Fall Fun Fest and Cooking on the Square, too, are two other big ones that I love.
Oh,
So,
he's a pacifist,
yes.
Jonathan. I could see.
And they've got a new tree for the lighting, right? Isn't that? I think the tree is.
Well, yes and no. It's the same tree. We had to get we got new parts for the tree.
It's Christmas tree
90% of it's
2.0.
new. 90% of it is brand new. Yes.
Okay. Second, something about our city you wish more people knew about.
I think I wish people would realize that there's always something to do in Cookeville, or at least in the surrounding area, that you don't have to go outside of this area. You don't need to travel to find entertainment, recreation, dining, any of that. It's all right here if you're looking for it. I think you can find it.
As director of tourism, I approve this
Yes.
answer. The most entertaining person to sit next to at a city meeting.
Well, again, for the safety of everyone involved, I will keep Jenny's name out of this.
That was a great answer. Great answer.
And Jenny knows who she is.
And finally, the thing that makes you most excited for Cookeville's future.
Again, I think it's the continued growth of Cookeville, especially south of I-40. We see that happening right now, and I think it's a great opportunity for us to expand into that area, offering recreation. I know some retail is going in, especially with Target and all of that south of I-40. So I'm looking forward to helping to expand our parks and recreation into that area as well, because there are lots of residents who live in that area that have to travel.
They're driving a
north
long way across town.
through the traffic
Yes.
to get to Cane Creek Park, to get to downtown, to Dogwood Park,
Very, very true.
to all of our parks and all of our facilities. So helping to make that an easier thing for them to take advantage of is what I'm looking to do.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I'm going to be there on day one for that new Target. I will be there opening day with bells on. I will trample other patrons.
You think Target will do our podcast? How has Tennessee Tech impacted your life? I mean, can we ask that question?
Chad, we're going to have just an extra minute here. So I want to ask you about, for people that have looked at your career path and maybe they maybe current tech students, they love Cookeville. Maybe they're interested in public service. They want to know how they could get plugged into, maybe to a career for the city, or for their hometown. Because it's a unique career path that you've had. What would be your advice to somebody that says, I might like to get involved with city services?
I think my advice would be to look for something. If you're especially wanting to work for the city, look for something you like doing. If you like being outside, we have lots of opportunities in our department, especially to work outside in our parks, to help keep the parks and ball fields looking as nice as they do. As you mentioned, Shan, we have a big staff that works hard to keep those things looking pristine. And I think it's finding what you like to do and focusing on openings that the city might have that might lead you towards that path. I think part of the problem, and I've got adult kids too, so not the problem, but part of the misconception now is you get out of college and you get the job you want, and that's where you're going to stay for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. That's not necessarily the case. You have to find a job to know exactly what you like doing sometimes, and then you can follow the path that leads you toward. I didn't know I would be here. I didn't anticipate being in this chair, but every job I had with the city led to this point, and I was encouraged to always aspire to be better working at the city.
Well, I think that's great advice, and something that people can look at your career path and see you clearly did. You had a passion for theater and the performing arts, and now that's led you to the role of leisure services director. And our city, all of us are better for it. Chad, we like to end each interview on this show with the same question, and that is, what is one way that Tennessee Tech has impacted your life?
Well, when I came to Tennessee Tech, I came from a small town. And I think coming to Tech caused me to be less insular and more. I thought about the way others looked at the world a little bit more. It changed my perspective on how people interacted in their community, and especially how they took advantage of opportunities in their community. And Tennessee Tech taught me that. And just being a part of a diverse community on campus, and coming from a small town where I didn't have a diverse community, really changed my perspective on the world. And that's where I really got into cultural arts, is through Tennessee Tech, and while I was there. And that led to my job at the city. I think Tech is a great economic and cultural engine for this community, and quite frankly, it's why a lot of people come to Cookeville to live. It's why I came to Cookeville in the first place, and ultimately why I chose to stay here and raise my family.
Well, I love that answer, and that's true for me too. It's what brought me to Cookeville, and I think it makes Cookeville, it makes this town, which is not a huge city, but it makes us a melting pot.
We are,
right.
absolutely.
It's so true. So, Chad, thank you so much for being our guest today on College Town Talk.
I appreciate you having me.
And for our listeners, if you're enjoying our show and hearing from community leaders like Chad McDonald, will you do us a favor and leave a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get this podcast? It all helps to spread the word about the great things happening right here in Cookeville.
We'll meet you back here again next week for more conversations with the people who make Cookeville, Tennessee's college town. College Town Talk is presented by Tennessee Tech University in partnership with the Cookeville-Putnam County Visitors Bureau. Your hosts are Jonathan Frank and Shan Stout, and original music is performed by Andrew Buckner. Visit us online at tntech.edu/collegetowntalk.